Hello and welcome to Blueberry One's channel. I'm your host, Blueberry One, and we're back with another simulator game because I seem to be enjoying the simulators. I like them. I like the strategy games. I like the survival games. I like the simulator games. Don't get me wrong. I love me a AAA action game. Oh, Far Cry, Grand Theft Auto, AAA RPGs like Fallout and Skyrim. Wonderbar. But I just finished cruising Wyoming, and there's just been something about this game. We are gonna zip this truck over to a shop here. Reason being, there's a garage there. Reason being, I'm gonna take off the triaxle on this. I got a heavy hauler, and this is not my heavy hauler anymore. It can do a heavy load when needed to, but my truly heavy hauling loads are going to be done by my brand spanking new 49X. Just bought it the other night, and we'll get that shown off in a minute here. I celebrated the completion of Wyoming by buying it. So this is my little Kenny. We're gonna go ahead and get it started up here. Whoops. We're just gonna bobtail over to the shop here. But yeah, we're gonna take this to the shop there. Hey, you fucker. How are we gonna deal with this traffic here? Yeah, we don't care about no traffic laws around here. Drive, baby, drive. Yeah, how far is this service shop? I do these deliveries like I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I tell you. Whoops. Coming through. We're a big old fucking road train. Should be service over in the corner here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. First things first, we'll just give it a little repair job there. We'll go to the truck road train in America. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just honk the horn and let her go. I mean, America has road trains. They have B trains, twin trailers. Okay. We're gonna go 8x4 mid lift. Long 6x4 300 gal. We're keeping the 300. We're gonna confirm that. We're gonna put that back on. B trains, 2 trailers, 253s. It's a B train. Okay. So let's grab truck manager. That's the guy I want right there. Yeah. They're rare in towns. We get them all the time out here on Highway 1 out in Alberta. Alberta. Not so much, M Captain. Nope, sure not. Mr. Martha's here first. Oh, rickety wrecked. Wah wah. So let's go ahead and show off. This is the new truck. You can. We'll fire it up there. Ooh, this is a different look inside, but we got her all decked out with the premium leather. Couple of plushies. Little ornament there. She is decked the fuck out. 0 kilometers, 99 miles per gallon, yada yada yada. We got some gauges. Oh, a DPF. Okay. There, that was it right there. Look at that. 0 engine hours. Well, let's take a look at what we got here. So what we got here is some blacked out super single rims. We got a blue and teal metallic paint job on a Western Star 49X. With as much painted versus chromed as possible. With that custom paint job. That custom Wyoming paint job. And she is an 8x6 heavy haul champion with a sleeper. Me? Depends on the vehicle. On an old vehicle, yes. On a new vehicle, no. I think chrome belongs on classics. And we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna see, where are we anyways? Did my truck start me off in Saki? I have never been to San Rafael. Let's see if we can get a short little quick job into San Rafael there. Freight market from Sacramento to San Rafael. External contract taking me that way. There we go. Okay, this one will get me through San Rafael, at least. Yeah, on semis it's definitely overdone. I mean, this isn't actually that heavy of a load, but it is a big load. It's a bulldozer, so it's a good first load for this truck, I think. This truck's already sounding quieter than my old truck. Oh, fuck. Alright, we're gonna have to wait for a bit of traffic here. It's deeper, but it's like less voluminous than the my Kenworths. I'm gonna start varying my fleet more and buying and not just buying online all Kennys. I do plan to eventually have like a bunch of different types of trucks in the fleet moving forward. Okay. What we got here? Plaster and Sons. Okay, where's my trailer? Where is it? I see it. Okay. Okay, let's make sure that trailer's gonna clear. Okay. Okay, I need to set the Jake brake here. Hold on. Engine brake is B, and it's a hold engine brake toggle. Okay, does N do anything? N is the air horn. Oh, horn, air horn, light horn? The fuck? Okay, what about this guy? What about comma? Is comma doing anything? Apparently I have 3 horns. I'm gonna see what that's all about. Okay, comma does not appear to be doing anything. So engine brake, toggle, increase, decrease, trailer brake, retarder increase and decrease. Okay, so now, so trailer brake. Oh, fuck off. God damn it, Windows, you piece of shit. Did I really not have fucking sticky keys turned off? Okay. Oh, light horn, like, I see. They're calling light horn high beam flashing. Okay. Okay. Is the engine brake on? Like, I don't understand. Let's get some real speed up here. I can't tell if this thing's engine brake's on because it's so fucking quiet. Oh yeah, that must be engine braking. The retarder was off. That's the retarder there. So that's engine brake and retarder. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and turn those on. Okay. I gotta talk to Wheeler sometime and find out when you use the engine brakes and retarders. You can definitely hear it retarding. Man, I tell you, like, it's getting used to a whole new truck. Like, I was used to the sounds of my Westerns, or my Kenworth, and now this Western Star, it's like, fuck, what's it doing? Yeet! Okay, 2 miles per gallon. Jesus. I guess this is where it comes in handy, is to control speed on the downhills. I mean, turbo's good. Oil's good. Air's good. Doesn't actually make us do the regens, so that's good. I mean, she fucking slowed right down. The engine brakes and the retarder must be working. Gonna leave it in there. Just gonna keep the old foot on the clutch there. Retarder active. Doesn't seem to like the retarder being active all the time, I guess, so we'll turn that off. Probably not allowed the engine brake in city limits. So we'll go ahead and turn it off. Oh, we're gonna get out to the highway here. There we go. San Rafael discovered. We got us a new town. Back out onto the highway. We can put all the brakes back on just in case. How's this guy look? Oh, yeah. That's a good looking truck. Driving down the highway. I mean, that's a pretty light load actually for this truck. I could probably lift that mid-axle, but it's fine. Alright, let's get back in the cab and stay in the lane. This thing's just a baby. Just a little baby. I don't have like a fuel distance to empty anymore, eh? I don't think. Trip. Speed. I guess we can just keep that one up. I'll be around doing a paper for my war conflicts class about the first time that gas was used in wartime. Oh, interesting. Interesting. First time that gas. Are we talking about like chlorine gas, like poison gas, or are we talking about gasoline gas? Are we talking the first Battle of Ypres? The first use of chemical gas in World War I. Yes. Because I don't think it was actually the first use of gaseous warfare ever. I think it was just the first use of it in modern times. Pretty sure there's ancient uses. But anyways, not of the same types of gases though. But like chemical warfare was definitely a thing prior to that. Although maybe more so biological warfare. Man, we really fucked the planet with World War I though. The amount of damage done to France, mostly France, but some other countries as well, but the amount of damage done and the amount of land that's been just completely turned back to nature because we poisoned it so much, where we buried so many munitions that is just like completely uninhabitable. Whoa, hey, easy, motherfucker. That's a yield lane, you piece of shit. Jesus. That AI traffic, though. Downshift 1. This truck is handily handling this load, though. Lane ends, merge right. Oh, merge right there. I remember thinking in class back when I took truck mechanic, because I don't have like a class 1. I'm not a truck driver by any means. But I remember thinking when they taught us about these shifters and shift patterns and stuff, I was like, oh my god, that's so complicated. How would you ever drive that? I guess once you kind of get used to flicking your switches and stuff, it's actually not that bad. And of course you learn how to float the gears too. This is nice because we got this like little downhill going on here, but with the retarder going. Like I can just cruise on down. No worry of a runaway here. Humans are surprisingly good at learning patterns. We are, it's true. Tell you, they got the reflection on the signs right though. That is exact, like my super brights on my fucking truck. That's exactly what road signs look like to me in real life. War and conflict in this day and age is ridiculous. I really wish humans could cast down the tribalism and work together to improve life for everyone and unfuck the planet. Right? Right? Case in point, the last 2 elections, Canadian and American. This is some nice forest in here. This forest here fully reminds me of the Vancouver Island forests. A lot of that old growth. I don't understand how people can pay attention to more than just where they live. Paying attention to U.S. politics alone has me so fucking stressed. I like to know what's going on in the world. I like to have a general idea of what's going on around us, you know? And I like to get it from different media sources too. Like, it's not all CNN or CTV or CBC. I'll read an article on the Canadian election from like our mainstream media sources, and then I'll check out like Rebel Media, and then I'll even I read an article on the Canadian election from Al Jazeera. I took an international politics course. Nice. But I mean, the other thing too is like, you gotta understand, in Canada, U.S. politics affects Canadian politics massively. Not so, the inverse is not as true, but the U.S. political situation absolutely affects the Canadian political situation. We went into political history of a lot of nations. Nice. I think, like, for me, like, I'm interested in military history and histories of wars and conflicts. And there's a political, and obviously there's a massive political aspect to that. So, like, I've just naturally become interested in, like, the political mindset. But beyond that, also, there's, like, the concept of, like, geopolitical representation, and how you've got very, very, very tribalistic politics that take place in the European Union, in areas smaller than Ontario. And you've got all these different countries that are like, no, we are very separate, distinct countries. We are very separate, distinct. Blue for PM 2022. We're all very distinct, separate countries. We have our own identities, but we work together as a continent. And then you look at like Canada and the United States, which are these massive land masses, second and third largest or second and fourth largest. Canada is the second largest landmass in the world. The United States is like one of the top 5. Like, just ridiculous land masses. And they're like, no, we're one country. And it's like, but then you look at like the geopolitical regional identities of Canadians and Americans across the states and the provinces, and you realize that governing Canada or governing the United States is far more similar to governing the EU than it is any individual European country. But yet, when you hear people talk about governing the United States, they're like, oh, well, how come? Well, the United States couldn't possibly do what they're doing in Denmark. Well, no, you troglodytic fuck. Of course they couldn't, because Denmark is the size of fucking Nebraska, you piece of shit. With all the bullshit the GOP is pulling here in Texas, stripping away rights under the guise of religion to... Go, 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 go! I didn't have nearly enough speed coming up to that ramp. There we go. With all the bullshit the GOP is pulling here, stripping away rights under the SCOTUS won't do their job because they're all, I'm fucking done with it, but my torques. But my torques! What was I gonna say? Yeah, actually, it was kind of funny. I think Ted Cruz is Texas. I think Ted Cruz is Texas. I mean, Ted Cruz is a piece of shit, but that's besides the point. I just saw Ted Cruz on Facebook. Shit. Raphael Cruz, his name isn't Ted. Yeah, whatever. It's Ted on Facebook. His name is Ted for political purposes. But it was funny. So he posted, he put this post up, right? Actually, I wonder if I can find it. So he puts this post up. He goes by Ted to sound more white. The GOP wouldn't elect a non-white sounding name like Raphael. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't want to go down that path, but you're not wrong. Okay. Shut up back there. Jesus. I'm parking it. Fucking hell. Okay, so what was I gonna say? So he posts this post and he's like, President Biden is making everything political. All he's doing is politics. He needs to stop making everything political and start realizing that these are real lives. So Ted, Raphael, Mr. Cruz, Senator, if you will. Do you mean to tell me that a career politician, the top dog politician in all of the United States, who has not only been elected president of the United States, but elected vice president of the United States twice, serving in the White House 3 times, should stop doing his job? His literal job title is the biggest politician, the President of the United States. Politics is in the name! But Ted Cruz thinks he should do less politics. So I commented and I said, Ted Cruz, are you asking a politician to stop being political? And then I commented and I tagged Steve Hofstetter. He's a comedian that likes to take on Ted Cruz, and it's fun and it's entertaining, and I enjoy it because I'm a sadist, I guess. I don't know, but I love Hofstetter. So I tagged Steve Hofstetter and I'm like, hey, look, Ted Cruz saying that politicians shouldn't be political while making a political statement using his social media platform in politics. Like, it blows my mind the way these people will fucking spin shit. I asked a local politician, and I've thought about actually starting to do interviews and either broadcasting them here or making like a secondary Twitch account specifically for politics and interviews and stuff. There's a lot of rules I'd have to follow given my positions and stuff, so I'm not really sure if I could actually do it, but I've definitely considered interviewing politicians, especially like starting locally. I asked this guy local. He ran for mayor in the town like 4 years ago, and he lost handily defeated. No contest. Exactly. Given my position, it could land me in hot water, so I'd have to be careful. Watch it, Ranty Burby. But anyways, I asked him. I was like, what's your platform? And he was like, this, and this. Okay, how are you going to achieve that? well, this way, this way, this way. I'm like, but those aren't answers. You just expanded on your platform. You just said my platform is, it was basically like honesty, transparency, commerce. Okay, those are great taglines. Now, how are you going to achieve those? Being more honest. Okay, how are you going to achieve that? Being more transparent. Okay, but how? How? Answer the question, you know what I mean? And then his answers, I was just like, wow. And yes, babe, I'll get rid of that. I know. The answers were not good. And then before I could even respond to the answers, it was all deleted. And I'm like, you know, if you're going to be in politics and you can't handle little old Blueberby asking you questions on Facebook, how the fuck are you going to handle it when somebody comes into council chambers or legislature floor or parliament or the Senate or wherever and starts asking you the hard questions? Like, how are you going to handle that? I don't understand. Like, well, that's just it. He's just delivering those talking points. Okay. Thank you for the talking point. Great suggestion. Now let's talk about it. Do you have any way to defend this talking point? No? Okay, cool. I had a federal MP candidate. I won't say which one. But I asked him some questions about the platform, the party's platform. And his response was, I'm not sure, I'll get back to you. And then he got back to me and he was like, I don't actually know about this one, but I didn't write the platform. Okay, but you signed up to run under it. So shouldn't you know the platform in and out? Shouldn't you have a fucking answer? How are you going to represent me when you don't even know how to represent your own platform? I was just flabbergasted. I had no idea how to handle that. I was just like, wow, okay. Let's go price per distance. Actually, this is probably the best one. I'm going over to Reading. It's not very far. Well, yes, and that's something that I appreciated that in the moment, but when he got back to me, it was clear he still didn't know. Right? And that was problematic for me. That was problematic for me. It was because he basically, he was like, his get back was, I don't know how this works, I don't have one. I'm like, I thought you were claiming to represent that type of people, though. How can you as a party or a person represent those people while not being one? Right? And the question was on firearms ownership. I'll go that far. So it's basically like, we're gonna represent firearms owners, and we're going to do this and this and this for firearms owners. Okay, well, can you explain to me your platform, because your platform is confusing because of this, 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 and this. And he's like, well, I don't actually have a permit or any firearms, so you don't represent firearms owners. You're not representative of firearm owners at all. If you're going to espouse that you're going to represent firearms owners, go get a license and buy a gun. You don't have to use it, just have it. Just so you know what it takes to get through the process to have it. So you actually have understanding of the situation. Like, I like when a politician is like, hey, do you understand the problems facing our police today? Well, no, because I'm not a police officer. But what I will do is I'll reach out to the Chiefs of Police Association of XYZ area, and I will talk to them, I'll get their input, and we'll see if we can come to a conclusion on how we're going to handle the problem. Holy fuck. You're going to talk to the people who do the job? God damn, where do I vote for you? Right? No, the problems facing police today are this, this, and this. And how do you know that? Because I'm a politician. Okay. Did you ask any police officers if those were the problems facing police? No, why would I ask the people doing the job? I don't know. Good leadership? the willingness of people to vote for people with no real answers always has baffled me. Why are you voting for this person? Well, his platform is good. Okay, but has he defended his platform in any way, shape, or form? Has he told you how he's going to achieve it? Because I can come out here and I can promise you the goddamn world, rainbows, unicorns, and pots of gold, and have no intention of ever delivering it, and it's going to sound great, and you're going to vote for it. But why are you voting for it? And I'm just as mad at the individual voters as I am at the candidates who prey on it. Like, I want to ask voters, I want to go up to them, why did you vote for this party? Well, because I believe in this. Okay, but do you understand how they're going to achieve that? Well, no. Okay, then why the fuck did you vote for it? Like, if you don't know, just don't vote. I feel like that same mentality is the same reason people refuse to trust experts in the medical field regarding pandemics. They have their own worldview, and in that they are always correct, and how dare you question them? You bring up a great point, and I actually went down this line of questioning with somebody very recently, very recently, and it was about pandemic stuff. And let me see if I can kind of get the gist of the conversation. We were talking about COVID. Blue, are Volvo trucks good? How the fuck would I know? What part of? And this isn't a Volvo. This is a Western Star. I don't actually, I don't know. Like, I took my truck mechanics course, but I never actually certified. I finished college for truck mechanic. I'm a year 3 apprentice, but I took a modified program that gets you all 3 years of schooling plus a full month of hands-on. But I would still have to like work in the trade and get signed off and actually go write the test to be a journeyman. But I have like very limited real-world experience on trucks, and the trucks I do have experience on were all like street sweepers, ice melters, snow plows, garbage trucks and stuff. So like, I wasn't really paying attention to the brand so much as the type of equipment, because I did it as a co-op experience with a city fleet. So we were more focused on the like functional repairs as opposed to like engines and stuff, because they'll just send if the engine breaks, they'll just send it back to the dealer. They deal with all the customization and stuff and like the preventative maintenance. So what was I saying about the okay, so this one was like we basically like we had a brief discussion about a bunch of stuff. Nope, that was with Centennial College in Ontario. Centennial alum here. Took the Canadian Tire Modified Apprenticeship Program for 310S for automotive, and I'm a Red Seal journeyman automotive mechanic, and I took the some truck conglomerate has a, I think it was actually ATS, modified apprenticeship program for a second year to do 310T, which is the truck and coach program. I went to skills competition for automotive at the college and provincial level 2 years in a row. I got second or third at the college level the first year, and then third place at the provincial level the first year, first place at the college level, second place, third place, second place college, third place provincial, first place college, and didn't place. I got like fourth or fifth at the provincial level the second year, because I flubbed an electronics question. A single question basically knocked me from, I think it was second to like fifth. Very tight competition. But yeah, that was my college experience. I also judged the high school skills competition at the Toronto Auto Show one year with college. That was fun. I'm like way in the wrong gear. This lady, anyways. So we had a brief discussion, and we were like, she was like, well, how do you know this and this about COVID? And I was like, well, because using these numbers and using this study and these triple blinds and this and this and that, and this expert says this and this expert says that. And then she was like, oh, okay, so you believe the experts. And I'm like, of course, like, you believe the experts. Like, this is, expertise is this, blah, 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 base of knowledge, etc., etc. And she was like, she seemed to be coming on board, right? And she was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, now I understand what expertise is, blah, blah, blah. And then so I was like, okay, so now you are going to follow the science and stuff. And she's like, nope, I'm going to believe the experts I choose to believe. She's like, they meet the definition of expert as well. I was like, oh, and how do they do that? Well, this guy's a doctor, so he's an expert by your definition. And I'm like, okay, but what's he a doctor in? I don't know. Well, is he a doctor of epidemiology? Is he a doctor of virology? Is he a doctor of immunology? Is he like, what is he? Is he a PhD? Is he an MD? Is he a DDS? Is he a chiropractor? Like, what kind of doctor is he? Kind of thing, right? I don't know. Then why the fuck are you believing him to be an expert in the subject at hand, which is epidemiology, virology, and immunology? Like, that's like being like, well, he's a pediatrician. He's been a pediatrician for 30 years, so he's an expert on brain tumors. No, he's a fucking pediatrician. He's an expert on childhood growth. He's an expert on children. And even then, he's not a specialist. He's a GP, so he's a general practitioner, pediatrician, which means he's not even an expert. He's a generalist. He's a generalist in that field. Is he far more knowledgeable than you or me in pediatric medicine? Obviously. Is he an expert in comparison to the other people who are specialists? No. And one person turned around and they were like, I didn't know you were an expert. And I'm like, well, that depends on the subject matter. I'm an expert in some things. What? Tell me what subject you want. What subject are you talking about? Automotive repair, specifically engine and electrical? Yeah, I'm an expert. Epidemiology? No, just good at reading articles. I'm not even an expert gamer. I play everything on fucking easy mode. I'm an SME for several technology at work. Exactly, right? That's SME is actually probably the best way to describe what people think they're getting. Another candidate that I've briefly talked to. I didn't really talk to him because he didn't respond at all, because he's apparently afraid of responding to me. So many politicians are afraid of responding to me. I don't understand why. I'm not even a big name. Like, I don't get it. They're not gonna respond to me. I don't bite hard. So he's running, and he's running under the title of doctor. Now we'll get into why. I won't get into the full meal deal about who I think should be allowed to call themselves a doctor. But he's running under the title doctor. So I asked a simple question: said, what kind of doctor are you? Like, you know, what kind of doctor are you? Subject matter expert, which all these experts are, they're each an expert in a specific subject matter, not everything imaginable. Well, exactly. They're a subject matter expert. And I love when somebody comes into the room and they're like, I am an expert. I'm a doctor and I know everything there is to know about doctoring. My name is Dr. Zap Brannigan. Like, I am Dr. Zap Brannigan and this is my nurse Kiff. We are experts at everything there is to expert at. It's like, so what are you a doctor in? I have an honorary doctorate from the University of Michigan for my work on the show Tool Time. Or Home Improvement. Did you know that Tim Allen actually has an honorary doctorate? Not only does Tim Allen have an honorary doctorate, but his character in Home Improvement got an honorary doctorate. My name is Doc Doctoring. Doctoringest doctor to ever doctor. And all I've ever doctored are financial documents for the mob. They call me Doc because I doctored those books. So this guy's a doctor, right? What kind of doctor are you? I just want to know, right? Do you have a PhD in poli-sci majoring in municipal government? Like, holy fuck, sign me up. You should be the mayor. You have a PhD in how to do this job? Yes, please. No. It wasn't that. Oh, you have a strong stance on vaccines and masks and COVID and our immune system. So you're a medical doctor, right? You're an MD? No, not an MD. So what are you a doctor in? Doctor of veterinary medicine? Doctor in veterinary medicine? Are you a dentist? What kind of... He's a chiropractor. So I made the point that anytime you're using your prefix, right? So you're introducing yourself as doctor, you should, in order to not be disingenuous, be including what you're a doctor in. Hi, my name is Dr. John Smith, DDS. Hi, my name is Dr. John Smith, MD, BSc, blah, 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 blah. Hi, my name is Dr. Josephine Josephat. I don't fucking know. PhD times 3. Like, who gives a fuck, right? Just, what are you a doctor in? What is your specialty? What trade do you ply, right? Otherwise, you're just being disingenuous. And the reason I say that is because here he is running for mayor in a small rural town that is known to be, less than impressed by credential. And they're gonna vote for this guy on the principle he's a doctor. He's gonna help us during. This guy's running for mayor during a pandemic with the title doctor, but not telling people what kind of doctor he is. Does that like? Am I the only one that feels like that's problematic? And I mean, we can get into the whole discussion about whether or not chiropractors should be called doctors. That's a whole nother discussion. Although, my key point for why they shouldn't be called doctors, and why he shouldn't be disingenuous about being the kind of doctor he is. A lady came on to the comment thread to defend him and said, he's a physician. Chiropractors are physicians just like other doctors. Really? Let me fact check that for a second. So I typed his name into the Alberta College of Physicians and Surgeons. Doesn't show up because he's not a physician. So then I typed in my family doctor into the same college, just proof point. And he showed up right away because he is a physician. Because in order to be a physician, you have to be a medical doctor, an MD. Chiropractors aren't MDs. They're whatever the fuck they are in whatever jurisdiction they're in. And the fact that we actually have people believing that these guys are practitioners and physicians and not just back crackers and spinal experts, which they barely are that, because I would trust an orthopedic surgeon over or a neurologist or spinologist? Spinologist? I don't know. But I would take an orthopedic surgeon or a neurologist over a chiropractor any day for anything to do with the spinal cord or the spine. Any day. They're not an expert in spines. They just know a bunch about them. That's all it is. They know a bunch about spines and joints. They're no more a doctor than fucking sports kinesiologists. Like, really? In fact, I'd probably trust a sports kinesiologist over a chiropractor. Mainly because my cousin's one, and I would trust him over any chiropractor I don't fucking know. But yeah, the fact that people genuinely believe that chiropractors are physicians, regardless of the fact that they're just uneducated and uninformed and ill-informed. And the fact that this guy at no point stepped into this conversation stream as the person that's being talked about and said, I am not a physician, please don't refer to me as such, is even worse. This guy never replied to a single comment on this whole thread. He says, I'm running for mayor, I'm a doctor. He's a physician! Excellent. No, fuck you. Answer the question. Be like, no, I'm not. You disingenuous prick. That's how I feel about that. Fucking, yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh man, I should go to a chiropractor. Just get that good crack, right? Get that good fucking neck crack. Get it done right, not the way I do it. Like, oh fuck, maybe I might die today. You know, get that good back. But I don't want to. First of all, I want to be able to say that I've never been to one. That's just nice, right? When you're like, fuck chiros. Have you ever been to one? No, and I'm never going. Like, I just want to take that hard line. On the flip side, I could go and be like, yeah, I've been to one. I felt great for 3 hours because it's fucking placebo effect. I want my neck cracked so bad. Babe, it's okay. I'm an expert. I watched the video. I went to the YouTube University of Chiropractic. I watched the Try Guys get their necks cracked. I'm good now. I can do it. I can do it. It'll be fine. I want to take like the big fucking loads. Actually, let's go freight market. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Whoops. Put away. How heavy is this fucker? 85 tons? That's the load right there. Oh, wait. Oh, that's... Let's take that one. 43 tons to Coeur d'Alene. Oh, I mean, it's going to pop Bend, Oregon for us, so that's good. So let's do that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Are we here? Is this the job right here? Is that trailer still behind? Ah, son of a bitch. God damn it. But yeah, like I just want politicians to be willing to answer questions, and open and honest about what it is that they do. Right? Our current mayor was always like, I'm a teacher, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I have a Lolo gear. I always forget about that gear. But yeah, he's always been really, really open and honest about what he's done, what he's doing. I super appreciate that. Well, and if he doesn't know the answer, he will state that he doesn't know the answer. He will state that he'll get back to you. And he comes back with an answer. And it's never, I don't know. It's always, this is what I have learned, and it's my opinion that. Like, he's very good at expressing if he knows the answer to be true and factual, or if he believes in his opinion that this is the resultant, his opinion or his interpretation of the answer, right? Oh, there's immense power in that statement. I don't know, let me get back to you on that. It does need to be followed up with actually getting back to the person, but I mean, like, there's a ton of power and respect in that statement. To the point that, like, even if you're not looking for that statement and you're, like, relatively inexperienced in the workforce and stuff, you will, over time, come to understand that that is quite possibly the best answer that you could receive to a tough question. Okay, so I need to do back to that. Because it's going to make my life a lot easier if I do. But this is exactly 43 tons. This is exactly the kind of load that this truck was made for. It throws people off. They often expect us to know 100% of all things always, which isn't. Well, especially in IT, like let's be honest. There's a lot of times where it's like I super don't fucking know. This has never happened before. This is not the way it's programmed to work. All these times I keep trying to like get going on hills and forget that I have a Lolo. I really need to start remembering that I have this low gear here. I'm just trying to turn wide enough that I don't crank into things. Oh yeah, I've definitely done that before. Not only in like fixing my own computers, but like fixing cars. Like, so what did you do to fix it? Ah, fuck if I know, man. I was just... I unplugged a bunch of shit and I plugged it back in and now it works. Is that the normal fix for that? No, oh, fuck me. Oh, Jesus. Flip the trailer on the side there. Okay, wider turns, Blueberry. Like, I unplugged it to test it. It tested good and I plugged it back in and now it works. I turn it off and then back on again, but like a lot. Okay, so we gotta go 1,000 kilometers with this load. Okay. me. But yeah, like I don't know. I enjoy politics, but at the same time, like it does infuriate me a lot. I do genuinely get a lot of entertainment out of trying to like I can usually read a conversation or like within a couple of posts of somebody posting. I usually have a pretty good idea of what their viewpoint is and where they're going to go with it. I mean, I've been fooled a couple of times on very rare occasions, usually because somebody is doing a devil's advocate thing and I haven't seen them talk before, so I might get sucked into them playing the devil's advocate for the first time ever, kind of bumping into them. And in those cases it can be very difficult, because if somebody plays the devil's advocate well and you don't know that they like to do that, it can be very tough to distinguish between the real thing and not. But generally speaking, like I can tell kind of where a viewpoint or a coworker that plays devil's advocate often, but also seems to be contrarian. I mean, I enjoy playing the devil's advocate. Like in some cases I will, but I'll generally straight up say, I'll be like, listen, I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with this topic, or I'll be like, I actually agree with this, but the reason why I don't see it working is this. Have you considered this outcome of X action, right? And in that sense, it's like, I'm not doing it to be a dick or to be like, no, it can't possibly work. It's like, I actually think that that's a great idea. Unfortunately, we need to consider this, right? Welcome back, M Captain. What'd you have for lunch? Bring the RPM up a bit. Pizza. What kind of pizza? Was there pineapple on this pizza? Talk about starting a debate. Bubbly iced tea. But like I take a great deal of pleasure and pride in my ability to steer especially text-based conversations in the direction I wanted to go, to the point that like there's been several times where like I've either gotten somebody to admit to why they shouldn't have a viewpoint, admit to completely having no idea what their viewpoint is, or back into the corner where it doesn't matter if they respond, because if they respond in the positive to the line of questioning, they look like a complete clown, and if they respond in the negative, it'll be very evident that they're lying. Or like, I mean, I got a guy yesterday who was so upset with the Canadian election, so upset. And the funny thing is he wasn't even the guy I was expecting to respond. Somebody else did the typical Alberta thing. Oh, the West doesn't get a voice. The West doesn't get a voice. How come Ontario gets more votes than we do? And if we want to fix the country, we need to fix the vote, the seat distribution. I talked about how they come up with the numbers and what the distribution pattern is, and if we fixed the system to be purely per capita, where the distribution numbers would be, and how it would still heavily favor the East, and blah, 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 blah. And this guy was like, you're just a dumb liberal. You're just a stupid liberal, and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's not how math works. So I started to do the math for him. Not only the math for 2021's redistribution, which will take place over the next 1.5 to 2 years, but this has been basically triggered now. But there'll be a redistribution of seats, which will include adding a lot of seats all over the country for population growth. So there's that, but the current number of seats are based off of 2011 population levels. So I did the math using 2011 numbers, and I did the new math using 2021 numbers. And he was like, no, we only have this many seats for this many people in Alberta today. And I'm like, I know, because it's not a redistribution year. So and then it turned around, and finally he was like, yeah, well, we're still going to get screwed out on seats because the Liberals in the East know that the Conservatives in the West don't know what per capita means. And I'm like, did you just go from stupid Liberals to the Liberals know we are stupid? I literally just I literally pushed him into a circle from you're a stupid Liberal to you're a smart Liberal that understands Conservatives are too stupid to understand. I'm like, and none of this. Ooh, meat lovers pizza. I love meat lovers pizza. Makes me farty though. I mean, everything makes me farty. I could eat. Well, actually, if I ate air, I would be farty because air. But anyways, I want pizza. Fuck. Like the discussion wasn't even generically. It's like you're a liberal. Why am I a liberal? Because you're supporting the East having more seats. I'm like, every time we've had a conservative government, it's because the East voted conservative. Not to mention, and then he was like, well, the grandfather law is stupid. And I'm like, the grandfather law was brought in by a fucking conservative government. Half or more, actually more than half of the things that... Oh, I 100% agree that the debates need to be nationwide. I also believe that in order to be a federal party, you should have to have at least one representative from every province. Not the territories, because I mean the territories are gimme seats anyways. So it's unrealistic to expect a territory whose entire territorial population is 25,000 to be able to come up with like a dozen candidates. But if you are running as a federal party at the national level with no intention of being the prime minister and no intention of representing anything but a single province, we already have a level of government designed to represent provinces at both the provincial and the federal level. The provincial level of representation for a province is the provincial government, and the federal representation of a province's needs, interests, and wishes is the premier of the province. So if you want to run as a party within one province and only one province and have your voice, you need to turn Quebec into a Bloc Québécois province, put a Bloc Québécois premier in, and the Bloc Québécois premier can go and talk to fucking Trudeau. Because the Bloc Québécois should not exist on the federal level. Ow. Don't rant and drive. Fuck. Holy shit, that's some good fucking rain there. Pineapple itself. Oh, so you're like allergic to pineapple. Or it's just like too citrusy. This pineapple's actually very acidic. It does have an enzyme that a lot of people are allergic to. Because yeah, pineapple delicious. Fresh cut pineapple too. Like freshly cut pineapple. Apparently just like candy. But Mr. Martha, do you like your pineapple on pizza? That's the debate. I can't remember what we were talking about. I know it was politics. Yeah, the seat distribution. Somehow I was a liberal because I said that the seat distribution is already a fair representative democracy. Apparently that makes me a liberal. I don't know what the conservatives would prefer. Geographical representation, which means that the individual's vote matters less than the geographical region's vote. Wait, what's the bromelain do? Does it help? Oh, it helps with the pineapple? Oh, it's from pineapple. Ice cold pineapple whenever possible, yeah. And then, like, he said something about socialism. He's like, socialism, our government currently is leaning towards socialism, and socialism always leads towards communism. I'm like, first of all, socialism and communism are two different economic principles. They are similar, or more similar than socialism and capitalism, or communism and capitalism. But, like, so all I said was this. I said, don't believe everything you hear about communism that you learned during the Cold War. Because communism is, for the most part, an economic policy. But the things that people really don't like about so-called communist countries is the fascism, authoritarianism, dictatorships, absolutism, etc., the lack of democracy, blah, 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 corruption. That's not inherently brought about by communism or socialism. That's brought about by the type of government, which is not necessary. You know, painting communism and capitalism as these two big things, and socialism was a propaganda function of the Cold War to make the United States look good. So I get why people believe it. I do. But the reality is that we already live in a hybrid socialist capitalist environment in both the United States and Canada. Because if you look at the concept of, you hear the GOP want an authoritarian government full of their Q cult members, bunch of fascists. I know, I got an Alberta talking point on that, which is hilarious. You can bypass the nearest way station. Have a safe journey. Okay. So, it's what I was going to there though is so I basically said that, you know, don't believe everything you've heard about communism. Also, 911, socialist. Public education, socialist. Public health care, socialist. Roads paid for by taxes, socialism. Like, that's all socialism. That is all those are all entities owned by the public, aka the government runs it and pays for it using taxes paid for by the government that everybody contributes to. Those are all socialistic policies in which the government owns that particular industry, runs that particular industry, and pays for that particular industry by donations, albeit forced, from the public, right? But we also have healthy capitalist endeavors wherein we have the ability to have private corporation, etc., which is a hybrid system. Everybody's like, we don't want this socialism. Do you like sending your kid to school for free in most provinces, or next to free in Alberta? Do you like being able to go walk into the hospital and just get a doctor? Do you enjoy driving on roads that aren't falling apart? Yeah, welcome to socialism, bud. That's what socialism really is. The anti-socialist mindset around here is so dumb. You've got people fighting against their own welfare because they don't want handouts, right? Right? Like exactly. But like, so anyways, the Alberta talking point that you brought up from the GOP's there Um, it's funny because Alberta went through a whole separatist movement after the last election. I'm waiting for it this time. I'm waiting for it to pop up. It'll only take a couple more days, if that. Or they'll gladly accept said handouts while still denouncing socialist programs for others, right? Right? That one's my favorite. That one's my favorite. Especially when people like my kids aren't even in school. You know what really grinds my gears? When you're given a working coffee machine that does not work. I'll take a look at it on Thursday. Wait, well, tomorrow, I guess, right? Yeah, I'll take a look at it tomorrow. Okay, so here's the art. This is the French. Anyways. That's a gear grinder. Texas does the same separatist movement bullshit after any election. It leans blue. Yeah. So Alberta's separatist movement last time, they were like, we want our own Western Canada. I'm like, okay, what does the Western Canada look like to you? And they're like, we're gonna outlaw being liberal. So you believe that the liberals in the East are removing freedoms and are removing your freedom of speech, political and religious identity. So you would rather leave Canada, all the protections and allyships and contracts and everything else that comes with it, try to make it on your own, and then immediately take away freedoms, as long as it's not impacting the freedoms of conservatives and only impacts the freedoms of, women's, LGBTQ, minorities, disabled people, liberals, basically anybody that's not a cis white male Albertan. Is that about accurate? Like, no, we're not racist or anything like that. And I'm like, so why don't you want to allow a liberal party in Western Canada? Because they're socialist. Okay, but they have a right. They have a right to campaign for that. They have a right and a freedom to campaign for that. If you don't want to become that, just don't vote for them. It'll be fine, right? Like, Western Alberta will never ever vote in a liberal government. If Alberta became its own country, it'll never be liberal, right? Oh, wait, no, we fucked up so fucking bad with 40 years of conservative rule that not only did we not elect the liberals, we went further left and elected the NDP in a majority government. So the real reason that they want to outlaw liberal parties if they made a Western Canada is because they know it's entirely possible for a leftist party to win. But that's not freedom. That's not a free country. I'm like, all these separatist movements' ideologies are very, very problematic. Most people don't understand their rights, nor do they understand their freedoms or their responsibilities, or what's a privilege versus a right. My personal favorite is watching Canadians talk about gun rights, and they're like, we have a God-given right to bear arms. I'm like, you're in fucking Canada. Show me in the Constitution of Canada, because we have one, where it says anything about a right to own guns. Well, we have a right to protect ourselves. Okay, so hit him with a frying pan, you fuck. Guns are a privilege in Canada, not a right. And anybody in the United States who continues to say God-given right deserves whatever they get called on the internet. Okay? Whether you believe in God or not is not the issue there. God himself did not come down from the heavens and write on a piece of paper the U.S. Constitution, which granted rights. Man did. You have a man-given right. Okay? Whether that man gave you that right under the auspice of God is debatable based on whether you're religious or not, and that is fine. I will leave that debate alone because that is an entirely different debate. But the rights given to Americans were given to them by men writing a document and signing it into law. Unless you're telling me that the fathers of the Constitution, or the fathers of the United States, the fathers of the Constitution, the fathers of the Republic, whatever you want to call them, the founding fathers, were the agents of God, angels themselves, or God and Jesus incarnated, they are man-given rights, and they can be revoked. Actually, very easily. It's called an amendment. If they were given by an amendment, they can be taken. If it can be given by an amendment, it can be taketh away by an amendment, as it were. Political talks while driving by Blueberry. Shivo hates it when I get political. I've only crashed twice. That's a steep ass fucking ramp there. That would require a supermajority. Well, no, but I'm just saying it is a technical possibility to amend any amendment or the Constitution in general, hence amendment. My favorite is the fact that they're like it's in the Constitution, you can't change it. I'm like, it's only in the Constitution by amendment. It's not even an original part of the Constitution. They were like, oh fuck, we forgot something, and they added it. My favorite part about that whole amendment, they're like, it's my God-given right to bear arms. Okay, but it's an amendment that gives you that right. Which means that either God can be wrong, or it's a man-made argument. Because here's the thing. Under every religion, God is considered to be infallible. He cannot be wrong. Right? No fault can come from the word of God himself. So if God wrote the Constitution comes from the Word of God, and it needed to be amended to add the right to bear arms, then that's God saying, hey, when I made this Constitution, I fucked up. That would mean that he is indeed actually fallible, and thus the entire legitimacy of the religion would need to be called into question, right? Hard truce with blue. As a liberal gun owner, I think it should be a privilege, not a right. I agree. I'm thankful for my privilege to own firearms. Very much so. I'm thankful for my privilege to own firearms. I am thankful for the RCMP doing their background check on me every single day to ensure that I'm still privileged enough to own them. And if they ever come to me and they say, you can't own these, I will just be like, I haven't shot them in 4 fucking years anyways. I'll be annoyed because of the time and effort that went into them and the sentimental attachment to them, but like, I would probably instead choose to deactivate them and weld the bolts shut, then give them up so that I could continue to have them. But like, for me, ultimately, it's not about, I understand that the responsibility as a gun owner is that they're not a weapon to be used in defense of life or limb, right? Like, that firearm, in the concept of a home invasion, the firearm should not be in a position in which you can access it quickly enough to use it in the average home invasion. So I also believe that most of the firearms used in defense of property and life within Canada were illegally stored. And the only way that they possibly could have been deployed is if they were illegally stored. It also disgusts me how many firearms owners don't store their weapons correctly. If at all. So, you know, it's just, the firearms discussion is a long, long discussion that could be had. Another one of those things that I'm very opinionated on and can go on for hours. That being said, I also believe that Canadians should be able to have access to automatic weapons if they're properly vetted. Yeah, concealed carry shouldn't even exist, first of all. There is no good, legitimate reason to conceal a weapon. The only reason to conceal a weapon is the intent to use the weapon for an illicit purpose. A reasonable human being should not at any point consider a concealed weapon an appropriate method of carrying a weapon. And here's why. I'm pro open carry. I believe Canadians should be able to obtain an open carry. The concept behind carrying a weapon in the United States is centered on two things: the principle of the right to defend yourself and the principle of the right to bear arms. Now, at the time that the Constitution was written to give you the right to bear arms, the right to bear arms extended to flintlocks, cap locks, percussion cap type musketry, and when I say long rifle, I mean long rifle. I'm talking about Ross rifles that were muzzle loaded and fucking 7 feet long before the bayonet. Like, we are talking about weapons that when you walked into a place, they knew you had a gun, okay? They knew you had a gun because the gun was bigger than you. That's what we're talking about with the right to bear arms. So, if you walk into a bar and you're carrying a fucking musket, and everybody else in the bar is carrying muskets, or they're carrying a 18-inch muzzle-loaded pistol, like, everybody knows you have a pistol or a blunderbuss or a musket, okay? Everybody knows you have one. So nobody's going to pick a fight with you. Or if they do, they're going to challenge you to a gentleman's duel. And they're going to challenge you to a gentleman's duel, and you're going to do pistols at noon at 20 paces. Okay? Which is fine. Don't give a shit. They leave guns at the door. Actually, Virtualists, to be more specific, back then they did. They had the right to bear arms. And you know what our forefathers who had the right to bear arms and wrote in the right to bear arms did when they went into a drinking establishment? They left their guns at the door. Shocking. Are you telling me, Virtualists, that Wild Wild West bars were gun-free zones and nobody had a problem with it? Interesting. How far we've come. How far we've devolved. How's it going, Virtualists? House rules. Yeah, I got what you're saying. I can extrapolate from context. I slap your face with a white glove. We shall duel at midnight. But my free Jojums. Yes, my freedoms. Free Jojums. Um, a concealed firearm is not a defensive weapon, because a concealed firearm is, you just jump from 1600 to Wild Wild West. I mean, yeah, but you know, it's fine. We jump from 1945 to 2021 every time we talk about COVID, don't we? Listen, if the other side can make wild accusations and jumps and leaps in time and not line anything up, then I can too, god damn it. At least mine makes sense. Point being, a concealed firearm is not a defensive weapon. A concealed firearm is a subversive weapon. It's a weapon that you intend to use should the need arise that nobody knows is there. If it was truly about self-defense, you would carry it openly. Because a weapon carried openly, when weapons become smaller, sure, people can hide a gun. Oh, sure they can. Sure they can hide it. But they shouldn't be allowed to. That's the point I'm making, right? Is if you're carrying a gun for self-defense, you don't need to hide it. Because the best self-defense is passive. The mere fact that you have that firearm on your hip, where people can see it, is a deterrent. And you should always be looking to resolve every conflict at the lowest level with the lowest amount of effort possible. And the lowest amount of effort and the lowest level at which you can resolve a conflict in which you would need a firearm is simply having it. Which is why in 99% of situations where the police go after bad guys who would normally stab people or rob them or punch them in the face, their weapon is never drawn. And the reason is because the bad guys know that the cop has a gun. The bad guys know that the cop has handcuffs. They know that the cop has a taser and a baton and isn't afraid to drop them on the floor. Right? So, I totally drove past my turn off. I just noticed that it's making me do a loopy here. You shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. I never miss my exits in real life. Never once have I ever missed my exit. I have just taken intentional detours. So, yeah, if it was truly about self-defense, then you would be utilizing the firearm in open carry as a deterrent to prevent you from having to have the conflict in the first place. And that's why you must be using Canadian stats there. USA police, or shoot first, decide what the threat was after. No, even in the United States, in the United States, the police definitely do take a much quicker role to shoot or at least draw a weapon. But also, the United States has concealed carry. They have a massive fucking gun problem. They have concealed carry, they have open carry, they have a gun problem, they have a gang problem. We have those problems to a minor extent in Canada without the licensed concealed and open carry. So Canadian police operate under the assumption that there's a weapon, but they don't operate under the assumption that everybody around them is armed. So they don't feel the need to draw their weapons. But American police aren't just shooting anybody and everybody willy-nilly. Are there a lot of bad shoots in U.S. policing? Yes. Are U.S. police more apt to draw their firearm? Yes. Does a U.S. police officer with an open carry sidearm on their hip and a carbine across their chest present an active deterrent to crime against themselves and others around them? Absolutely they do. And if we would take away the fucking concealed carries in the United States and start charging people when they have a hidden weapon on them or when they have a gun in their fucking glove box, then the police might be able to chill the fuck out. But you try walking up to a car, tinted out to the nines, at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, and not knowing whether or not he's got a gun pointed at you through the door. Right? That's their reality. But again, if the purpose of carrying the firearm was self-defense, then you should be displaying the firearm, because the firearm being displayed is a first level of deterrent. Being like, oh well, he shouldn't have gotten into a fight with me because I'm a concealed carry holder and had my gun on me. At what point did you tell him I have a gun? And also, if you have to tell him you have a gun, you're already in conflict, and now you're escalating. Oh yeah, it is. And that's probably why they got pulled over. But now you gotta figure out if they got a gun in the car. Through the tint. But like, you understand what you understand the point though, right? Is that concealed carry is subversive. There's no need for it. Concealed carry is a rights-based argument, not a defense-based argument. Concealed carry is the epitome of the stupidity of arguing based on rights. Let's go 5 low. There we go. I don't know if that car is still beside me, but I'm going this way. This truck is so quiet compared to my other truck. Like, it's actually just like a pleasure to drive. It's so chill out in the cab. It's actually pretty quiet outside the cab too, to be honest. Wow, I went way the fuck out of the way. 266 kilometers? What's going on here? Where did I... What turn did I miss? %, maybe 15%, yeah. Oh dang, I missed a hell of a... Oh, I missed a whole ass interstate turn. That's what happened. Oh, fucking hell. Can I try something here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like the Cadillac of trucks. Okay, hold up. This is absolutely how we're doing this. Sometimes you just gotta make your own detours, you know? Show you guys that paint job again. Sneak level 100,000, right? Oh fuck, that cop car scared the shit out of me. I was like, fuck, how do you know? Never gonna know. Look at that 1.7 million in the bank. Time to start buying more garages. More garages, more trucks, more drivers. Gotta spend money to make money. Pull in for a vehicle inspection. Oh, fuck off. You bastards. Oops. $69 tons. Nice. But yeah, I am actually pro open carry. I do think there's a way for us to do open carry in Canada with a lot of courses and evaluations involved. I think there should be the option to take like a week-long force de-escalation threat risk assessment course. BLD just got a trailer deal, also loving my tank class. I think that there should be a use of force training, and then a range qualification, which you actually have to be able to qualify on a range. And then I think that you should have to do a 1 week course to get the license, and every year you should have to do a 2 or 3 day refresher. And you know what? Honestly, if you want to be able to open carry a firearm, you're gonna do the course. You know what I mean? Like, that's ultimately what it's gonna boil down to, is if somebody really thinks that they absolutely need to carry a firearm to feel safe about themselves, they're gonna spend the money. It becomes a security luxury, right? Like having digital locks on your doors, or having a safe, or having this. It becomes a security luxury, which is enough to restrict it from the general population, and would be enough to like be able to in most cases readily identify whether or not somebody is potentially a license holder or a shitbag. You know what I mean? Like somebody that has the time, the money, the effort to put into having the open carry license is in most cases going to have a different look, feel, air, walk, general attitude about them than a shitbag with a gun. But if just anybody can be like, I can open carry, well, how do you tell the difference between a shitbag with a gun and a shitbag looking person with a gun? Right? Now you got to get into profiling, and that's just not cool. Like, you got to get hard into profiling. Ninja, because she thinks she's a Jesus. I'm a ninja, she says as she falls down the stairs. Yeah, but can you ninja a fucking truck past an entire police blockade? 'Cause I did. Oh, Jesus Christ, is that NPC hitting on you again? Oh. Brand new truck, already got almost 2,000 kilometers on it. Man, looking down and seeing like 1998 kilometers, 1999, 2000. Ah, the Millennium! Oh, okay. My truck didn't break down as soon as it hit 2,000. We're good. Oh, fuck. Shit, it'll break down if I hit the wall. FML, I went to bed with a massive headache, woke up sore as fuck, really hope I'm not getting sick. I was a kid during Y2K, obviously. Well, I wasn't a kid. What would I have been? A teenager, I guess? No, 12. I was a kid. I was a kid. And I 100% picked up the phone at fucking midnight. There was 100% no fucking dial tone. The exchange was definitely like, ah! Why is everybody picking up their fucking phone? Jesus, M. Captain. You said that, my game froze, it was so shocked. He's just a baby. He's a little baby. He's gonna punch us. Yeah, I kind of figured like in and around that area. Somewhere around 25-ish. Oh, I like this little fucking turn lane here. Like I'm gonna fit through that. Hold on, let me just ding up some fucking curbs here. Jesus. So me and Mr. Martha are the same age. I remember people freaking out about the computers, all the Y2K compatible advertising. Oh my god. I remember the Y2K compatible advertising. Like every computer had like Y2K compatible on the box. I can't remember what the... Was it a fairly standardized logo too? I feel like it ended up being a fairly standardized logo. I mean, essentially. I turned 33 in February. I'm guessing you're 88, right? You're one of the very few who are close to guessing my age. Others think I'm 30, 35. I mean, I've always been pretty good with ages, actually. It's not my fault you're a fucking fallen angel looking fucking 29. natural catfish.
Oh, yeah. That's my
I'm Captain what? Oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Should I buy my own trailer? Where am I anyways? Am I in Spokane or Coeur d'Alene? I'm in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene! Coeur d'Alene? You know what it is? In the States? I bet you they pronounce it in the States Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene. I used to watch TV. Fort Allen. Spell it right there. Listen, if it doesn't sound Spanish or English, Americans will fuck it up, okay? Oh, it is French. I'm not pulling. Hold the fuck out. How much is this thing? 44 tons. Freight market. 85 tons, another haul truck chassis. 55 tons for huge construction. Log stacker. So that's... Is that an oversized load? Is that... I took Spanish, my mom took French though. That's going back to Oakland. I mean, I'll go through Bend at least, finally. What's that? Spokane to Spokane? Spokane to Grand Coulee. I mean, I do need to get to Grand Coulee at some point, so I could take that. I can say, being former French Canadian, French first and English for me. Wait. Wait. How long were you French Canadian? Well, I mean, you're always French Canadian if you're French, but like how? French first. I have never detected even a hint of accent.
All I spoke was French. So that was...
Not you, Captain.
Yeah, maybe.
Spanish just makes sense for me. We have a, yeah. I mean that makes sense. I need to get to Grand Coulee, so we'll do this. Pre-powered axle, blah 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 blah. Yeah, this truck's optimized alright. I definitely want to do like a normal cargo rig with maneuverability as a... Full French for 15 years? Fuck, sure as shit don't sound it. Hold on, where the fuck did it put me? Are you serious? You can't hear the Frenglish accent, eh? French accent, it's not there. Just in case I couldn't be any more offensive to the Quebecois. I make it a goal to be as offensive as I possibly can towards the Quebecois. Out of principle. It's not because I don't like the Quebecois, it's just because I don't like the Quebecois. I'm nice. I know. I'm nice to your family. Bunch of poussins sacals. What's interesting is that my parents are fully whoa. Yeah, and there's the accent. That's why no accent. I should probably grab fuel, actually, which I can do right here. I can also hit that service stop while I'm here. Not that I should be needing... Jesus, costing me $700 for returning empty? You should get fuel. I am getting fuel. Getting it right now. Just a chill $800 in fuel there. And we'll pull in over here. Let's see what needs service here. Wheels are at 4%. Everything else is at 1. Do we bother fixing up everything? I mean, I guess. Just service it while we're here. Actually, no. You know what? I think we're good to go. We're good. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. There's always something you can tune to make you feel better about your truck. No, I'm happy with this truck, actually. I'm very happy with this truck. Whoops. A little bit of a wrong gear there. I'm just gonna bomb down the center lane at like 100. That's how you stop. Woo! 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 This looks like an intermodal transport yard. Oh, shit. Whoops. I forgot what this is. Yeah. Freight market, so the trailer's not just auto ready. We'll take that. Oh. Oh. Nice. It's gonna be one of these loads. Okay. This is some satisfactory bullshit here. Yeah. Gotta pay attention to the speed limits now. Ah, yes. Stroke that I-beam. Oh, fuck. Am I even gonna fit out of here? Oh, I totally should have gone wide. Yeah. Hold up. Okay, hold on. This box. Okay. This locks off. Okay. That's not a Kenworth? No, this is my Western Star 49X that I set up for the heavy hauls. How's it going, Slothy? I need one more delivery. I can't figure out where. I've been everywhere. Go to your logs in World of Trucks on the website. I do like that these escorted missions where I don't have to worry about the horse shit of lights and stuff. This isn't even like a super long distance super haul. I don't think I've ever seen the police escorting a load out here, though. It's always like those like flagging companies. I'm not sure if I can get this officer to speed up to 56 here. Oh, fuck. You want me to make what turn now? This is a base game mission. No mods. Come on. You've never actually seen the heavy haul mod loads? These are neat. Oh, you should definitely do them. You can definitely fail them though compared to other loads. Like if you speed, you fail. Ooh, we should find out if we could do them in convoys. That'd be awesome. Can you imagine just like 8 of these fucking things going down the road? Lane change coming up. Hey, I'll get right on that lane change. Wheeler wouldn't be able to keep up to hit you, right? Speaking of keeping up, can we get up to the speed limit here? Ostifer. I love this like miles per gallon meter on the bottom there. 3.6 miles per gallon. Doing this in the dark is annoying. If I remember correctly, though, they don't make you park these. So that's a plus. Oh shit, we might actually make it up to the speed limit here. You just figured out your wheel has a USB slot. Guess you could get a shifter. I think most of the shifters use like a old school serial port. So unless you can find a USB shifter. I don't know if USB shifters are a thing or if they all use the serial port in the base. Feeling left out on the shifting? Would you get the modded shifter so you can do the? Oh yeah, if it's got the serial ports, then you're good to go. Would you get the modded head so that you can do the actual like range and everything? Rather just buy a G29 at that point? I mean, yeah. But yeah, you'd be able to put the mod into the USB port and then the shifter into the serial port. Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure that's what I have, and it's the serial connector to the wheelbase. I mean, shifters aren't a high bandwidth thing, right? Like they're sending they're just a bunch of on-off switches, right? So it's not like it's sending a lot of commands or a lot of data. The largest amount of bandwidth that's used up on the steering wheel is the force feedback. And the position sensor. Everything else is all very simple I/O. Yeah, but the serial port is an unpowered analog port, whereas the USB port is a powered digital port. So it makes the unit take more power, right? All you're doing is when you add a shifter or a set of pedals to a wheelbase is adding switches, right? So it just needs to be able to read a resistance value or open close switch. So the serial port is just like a ground and a bunch of input output wires to switches. So from a technical standpoint, you don't need a PCB in the shifter, you don't need any powered components, you don't need any chips, you just need micro switches, and that's it. So it actually super simplifies using the serial connector versus using an analog serial connector versus a digital USB connector actually simplifies it more in the case of a wheel. Sort of. What I mean by unpowered versus powered is you don't have to send any more than a straight up 5 or 12 volt signal down, but you're not powering up a chip permanently, right? the signal power is going down one wire, and then just comes back on the secondary line, right? So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions, so you need a 12. You need a supply and 7 returns. That's 8 lines. That's already more line. That's more wires than USB can handle. USB can only handle 5. So a USB connector can only handle 5, right? Because it's got a 5 volt. I think it's got a 5 volt, a 12 volt, and a plus minus data and a ground. And that's exactly what it is. They aren't using RS-232 signaling. It's just switches, right? All it is it's hardwired to the chipset in the wheelbase. Yeah, exactly. 4 wires, and so you would need a processor inside the shifter to say this is what I want to send across the USB, and then you would need a decoder in the wheel to say this is what I'm getting from the USB, right? Whereas the serial port, because it has a bunch of wires anyways, it can just be a straight up wire harness. Like, it's just a wiring harness for a bunch of switches. That's all it is. Yeah. Less errors. It's all analog I/O, on off. Yes, it's an outdated connector, but it's far easier to make in this situation. The third-party adapter. Oh, probably to reconfigure the wire harness. You could probably do it yourself by just rewiring the port. Like, you just need to know which position on the shifter needs to go to which position, right? Like, just, yeah. Anyways. How much is the adapter? And I'm certain it would be a passive adapter. I'm certain all it's doing is changing the pinout. I can guarantee all it's doing is changing the pinout, which is why I say you could probably do it yourself. Did I miss that truck? I'm not bothering with my high gears right now. Because it's not like I'm gaining that much speed anyways. I'd use the paddles, but they're super loud. Yeah, mine don't even activate my noise gate. The click is satisfying for about 5 minutes. I do like that the cop car pulls over to like force people to the side. I think this is going to be the last load here. We're going to do a little bit of an early raid. We'll get this delivered. I'll find a raid. Just because I don't think I'm going to finish another load in the time I've got left. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'll take another. I just won't take a heavy. I can probably get one load done as long as it's like an in-state load. We'll see, because this thing is like, I got 26 kilometers to go and it's not going quick. Jeez, even with the retarder on, I'm not slowing down any. There we go. We'll put the engine brakes on. That'll help. I'm just saving fuel at this point. Transmission retarder to try to hold the speed. That's working. Oh, speed's even slower now. Okay, here we go. Now we gotta... Almost there. Man, I'm usually doing like 60 in fifth. Okay. Like, that's just ridiculous. Okay. Oh no, it does make you park it, but you park them straight. So it's not so bad. Oh, I should have my beacons on this whole time. Hold up. There we go. Special transport done. No, we're not going to take another one. We're going to stop here. What I am going to do real quick, we're going to go Garage Manager. So I need more trucks. Is what I'm reading, because I have all these garages without trucks. Sacramento's making me money. Okay. Or do I want to buy more garages? Let's start buying up all the garages. Because we want those fast travel points, you know? Every time they add a DLC, they add more garages, and that's more money. And I think we'll go down to about 500,000 here. But like, look at that. Actually, there we go. So we're down to Colorado. It's the only one we don't have any garage thing. We don't work in Colorado. Fuck Colorado. We work everywhere else though. Truck dealers. Peterbilt. Peterbilt. Oh, hold on. All trucks. Western Star, Peterbilt, Mack, Volvo. Let's look at a Volvo. What's the cheapest truck in the game? 148? $148. They're probably all the same. Where their cheapest trucks are. Oh, $144 for a Kenworth. Let's go international. Let's do it this way. 148. 148. 148. Volvo's best. 141. Peterbilt's got trucks for 141. So we're gonna buy a couple of sleepers. What options do these get? 3 standard options. Bare bones shite engine. Yeah, I can get the Eaton Fuller 18 speed. Maneuverable little fuck though, isn't he? Ooh. How do we max out that maneuverability? So you put the Eaton Fuller in. And that's going to make it normal cargo maneuverability. So these are our light duty transport trucks now. There we go, and then we go into the paint job. U.S. Navy tribute truck. Mount Rushmore, Monument Valley, Buffalo Cowboys, best community ever, waves. We just go sky blue. These are going to be some standard ass fleet trucks that we're going to buy. Confirm. So I brought it up to 148, but Tacoma, Spokane, let's go to Portland, okay, we'll buy one more, we'll fill up Portland, we'll get 3 more drivers going here. Recruitment agency. Hire a driver. Hire. Portland. Put him in the truck. Hire. Portland. Put her in a truck. Hire. Portland. And put her in a truck. There we go. 3 more drivers, just like that. Do I have any loans? Nope, no active loans. There we go. 36 drivers now, including myself. Well, 37 including myself. 36 drivers now. I made bank there. I'm doing the big work here. Training policy. How do we focus them now? I want to focus you on long distance. Long distance. Long distance. Wait, hold on. Long haul, long haul, long haul. Long haul. Long haul. Long haul. Long haul. We're gonna put them all on long distance. If they have a sleeper. And they're maxed out. Oh, wait. No, you need to be balanced because you're not fully trained yet. Gotta get those long hauls in. Kenworth, these are back to the these 3 haven't been modified, and these 3 are on. So these guys are gonna focus on hazmats. High value. I want you to focus on just-in-time delivery, high value cargo, high value cargo, fragile cargo, and just-in-time delivery. So we'll see how that does. I'll see if these guys get better pays. And we'll see if we can bump up some of these guys' pay as well. All right. There we go. So that's going to be that, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out this morning. Morning streams are doing good. They're doing pretty good. You know, it's a function of my work schedule that I've had to change to these more. I need it here. Anyways, it's mostly a function of my job schedule that I've had to move to these primarily morning streams. Tomorrow I'm not working, which means I should be doing a daytime stream. If not a big long daytime stream, at least some kind of daytime stream. Oh no, I've got something coming over in the afternoon. Maybe I'll do an evening stream. I'll do something. I'll try and get something in tomorrow. But you know, we'll see what ends up happening. But I'm going to try to get some kind of stream. No promises on when or how long. Let's see who's playing what. Maybe I should look at my team and see what my team is doing. Who's doing what on the salt shakers? Farming sim, Call of Duty, gas station sim. Gas station simulator. We'll do gas station simulator because that seems weird and quirky. Hashtag more fuel. Hashtag more fuel. Let's go say hi to Wolfie G, a fellow T68 salt shaker. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you next time.